Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bubby Brister and Friends Fantasy Football Podcast presented by Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Bubby is trying comedy at an open mic this week, but he's given us some topics to cover. Nick, you ready to dive into some topics?
Let's dive on in tonight.
First up, we got a bye-mageddon this week. There's 6 teams on a bye. Houston, Tennessee, the Bengals, Dallas, Carolina, and the Jets. Carolina doesn't count. So there's 5 teams on a bye this week.
Okay.
You got anybody on your team from those teams?
Tank Dell. That's it.
He's injured anyway, though.
Yeah, he's injured anyway, so Tank Dell's my only one. The 6-person league I had to drop a player in 6-person league because they were on bye. But that's it.
Oh, we don't talk about that league on this podcast. Julio Jones signed with the Eagles this week. So for fantasy purposes only, is this something or nothing?
Absolute nothing. It is a big nothing. No. If he couldn't get it going with Tom Brady last year, he's not getting it going here. That's what he's definitely not doing.
Yeah, I agree. This is nothing. It can't hurt, but it's not going to help either on the field.
This isn't. You're thinking Julio Jones. You're thinking 150 yards a game. And this in the third, he's not that guy anymore. He's 4 years past prime now. His last year in Atlanta was his end of prime. Then he went to Tennessee, past prime. Went to Tampa to get a cheap ring, way past prime. And now he's like, what, for the memories? Is he there to hang out with A.J. Brown? I mean, A.J. Brown's doing what he does. Devontae Smith is not getting any catches anymore now. It's weird.
Yeah, it'll be shocking if Julio can even stay healthy. It's fun to bring in a player of his stature onto a Super Bowl contending team, but if he scores more than 3 touchdowns, I'll be surprised. On to topic number 2, Christian McCaffrey. He got injured. Who's to blame?
Blame pie? All right, I'm going to give 30% to Christian McCaffrey because he always gets hurt, so he has history getting hurt. All right, we're going to go 40%. The scheme, because the way they're always pounding him, whatever, and they try to relieve him, but it's not enough. Okay, 30, 40. That last 30%, we're going to do 10%. Brock Purdy. All right, Brock gets some blame on this because he's quarterbacking. That's how it works. All right, another 10% goes to the GM, Lynch, because you signed him knowing that he's going to get hurt, and another 10% to the fan base of Niners because you guys really jammed him and made him run, and that's what happened, guys. It's just that's the blame pie, guys.
Yeah, he was on pace for like 400-plus touches. He proved 2 years ago he needs to be on a pitch count. I mean, 15 touches a game at this time of the year. Like, you're 5-1. There's no need to push things yet. It's not even Halloween. It's not even Thanksgiving. Like, later in the year, if you want to give him 25 to 30 touches when it looks like you can get the bye or lock up the division, I get it. But, like, what are you doing? What are you doing, San Francisco? You have other good backs, too.
Yep. And what are you going to do now? So he's now, like, scary to start for the rest of the year. Because he might just, like, you don't know, is he 100%? Will he come back 80%? Will he get hurt again? You know, he won't have the explosion like he did before. It's just going to be nagging injury now for the rest of the year. And it's not going to be what it was. So this is where you, Billy, avoiding Christian McCaffrey is now coming true.
I do have him in the 6-team league that we don't talk about, though.
Allegedly.
Topic number 3. The Lions are 6-1 for the first time in the Super Bowl era. Is this the best Lions team in history?
Ooh.
In their franchise history?
In history
it has
now?
to be, right?
No.
Yeah.
No. In history?
I can't think of
because
one.
There was
the
the
Lions
90s.
History.
Yeah, the 90s. The 90s. They made the playoffs with like the receiver when they had Barry Sanders and stuff like that. That was.
Did they get to an NFC Championship game?
I believe so. Like that was a really good Lions team.
I remember that was Eric Kramer who I liked.
Yeah. Like wait a minute. I was a big fan of the Lions team that went 6-1 back in the day and then ended the season 6-10. Good old Kidna's team. That was Kidna's team with Calvin Johnson and Roy Williams. So remember, they went 6-1 before. They've been here before, and then just lost it straight out. So yeah, I mean they played against Tampa last Sunday.
So I pulled this up. I'll listen to your case here. The 91 Detroit Lions went 12-4, finished first in the NFC Central. They lost to the NFC Championship game to the Redskins. They got destroyed 41-10. They had 5 Pro Bowlers: Barry Sanders, offensive tackle Lomas Brown, inside linebacker Chris Spielman, free safety Benny Blades, and kick returner Mel Gray. They went 12-4 in 91 and 92. They then went 5-11.
That's about right. That's how you do it. You fall back down to earth.
So I got breaking news here. I got a text from the owner of Dead Money. He says, I'll give you Derrick Henry plus a player for Kenneth Walker. Now, I'm desperate. I don't want to trade Kenneth Walker, but I'm desperate. I'm 1-4. I do have the second most points in the league, but nothing's working for me. So I replied, a really good player, and I'll listen, which means Henry and a really good player. He said, like who and what position? I haven't replied yet. Then he comes back at Derrick Henry and KJ Osborne for Kenneth Walker. Like, come on, man.
KJ Osborne, the third wide receiver? Come on now. Let's not do
on a
this.
Bad team? No, like, it's going to take like Tony Pollard and Derrick Henry to get Kenneth Walker. He's not ready to have this conversation. Freeman, I know you're listening. Beat it.
That does. Man, like, wow. Like, a good player is Moore. DJ Moore.
Yeah. Even Devontae Smith. I probably wouldn't do it, but I'll at least listen. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
I'd sleep on it.
DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore and Derrick Henry be better because DJ Moore is your boomer bust. He was bust last week. He was boom the other week. You're going to get it. You know, and Derrick Henry
Plus Fields is injured now.
Right. It was hurt, but we don't know what the backup's going to do. You know what I mean?
I don't even know who the backup is.
It's that he's a rookie. He's a rookie, whatever it is. He looked good in preseason, guys.
I look good in preseason. On to number 5. Last week we discussed Andre Rison's NFL record for most teams scored a touchdown with. On Monday Night Football, Brandon Cook scored his touchdown with his 5th team. Can you name all 5 teams that Brandon Cooks has played for?
All right. So Brandon Cooks, he's played for the Patriots. He played for New Orleans. That's where he got drafted. He played for the Texans. He plays for Dallas now. Brandon Cooks. Oh my God, what's that last team? Because part of me wants to say Kansas City, but it's not Kansas City because that's Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins and Brandon Cooks are almost the same people. They're almost the same people. Brandon Cooks. Damn, I don't know what the last team is. I don't know what the last team is because he had a run where he was on 3 teams for 3 straight years. It was like 3 years, 3 teams.
Right.
It was like bang, bang, bang.
I know the team.
Like
I'm trying to think of a good hint here.
New England's. It was Patriots and New England, and then he slid over to Texans. And he was there for Texans for a hot minute, and he was happy being there. And then Texans was like, we don't want you, so they sent him out, and that's why he went to Dallas. That's what I'm saying.
It's the Rams.
The Rams. Oh, wow. He had that was a very uninspiring event when he was there.
He's overrated. I know he's had some good seasons, but he's one of those times, anytime you get him on your team, he never does anything. Like, he's like a poor man's Tyler Lockett.
I guess that would be fair. I say that's fair. He'll give you a nice 1,000. He'll give you 1,000 yards, but he's a difference maker. But as you find out, he is, as Steve Smith said last Thursday, destroying Jerry Jeudy.
I got a note on that.
You got a note on that?
Yeah, when we get to that player in the box score.
Did somebody have that player
6.
in the box score? Jesus, Joe.
Yeah, they started him. No. Oh yeah, Freeman texted. I sent it. Freeman, I love a good trade offer. But no.
What did he send now? Did he send what we said?
He sent me. Yeah, he had to have sent me Osborne and Henry.
No, not the Osborne. We don't want Osborne.
I don't even want Ozzy Osborne. Yeah,
we don't want Ozzy Osborne. You know what I mean? We don't want Jeffrey Osborne. You don't want the Osmonds. You know, DJ Moore. DJ Moore is, or better yet, Devontae Smith, because Devontae Smith is values lower. I would say DJ Moore's ranked higher this year than him. So, and especially with you could probably get him to, well, as he's probably going to listen to this, he's not going to listen to it now, but, maybe with the idea that Julio Jones is going there, now you got Tennessee North and Philly, and the receiving core of 3 years ago, Tennessee North.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Number 7, should the Bucs go back to the creamsicles full time, and why is the answer yes?
Full time, no, because the red imputer's better. The red imputer's better. The creamsicles is nice to have on the occasion. Like, give me one game every year, even though it seems like for the last 5 games, we won 1 out of the 5, and the one game we won, we're in a creamsicle. We beat Green Bay in Green Bay. Josh Freeman throwing the ball to Mike Williams with a spinning touchdown to end the game. But every game after
what happened to that guy?
Who?
Why'd Freeman fall apart? Josh Freeman.
Josh Freeman fell apart through partying in Tampa. If you ever know anything about like the new sombrero in Tampa, Florida, is down the street from this, like, there's like 7 strip clubs right down the block from it. Raheem Morris, Kellen Winslow Jr., they were partying hard, and he would the first year he was all right. Second year we went 10-6. The year after that, he started showing up late. He was showing up late to practice. He was showing up late to film. And
he was out of the league quick.
He had a really bad Monday night game. He got picked up by the Minnesota Vikings or something. It was Minnesota versus the Giants, and he got picked up, and he played so bad. It was like, who is this guy?
Right.
And he wasn't even like 30 yet. He was like 27 or 26. He was super young. He was 20 when he got drafted.
Yeah, so let's break into these box scores. It always shows me first because I'm the one using my own app. So we got Pit Sweat versus Fresh Meat. I lost this game again. Pit Sweat goes to 4-1. They've now won 4 in a row. I fall to 1-5. I've lost 3 in a row. I lost 172 to 138. 138 can win some games, but I'm just getting creamed every week. He got 64 combined points from Kamara, Swift, and Pacheco. That's a championship-winning core right there. Three good running backs. He got Swift because Boy Scout trombones made a roster blunder. Kyle Pitts, 4 for 43 and a touchdown, 14 points. So he might be slowly breaking out of his coma. A.J. Brown, 564 yards in his last 4 games. Here's the Jerry Jeudy thing. This was his only dud. And you brought up the Steve Smith thing. How did you feel about that? Steve Smith going full WWE on Jerry Jeudy in real time on the NFL Network.
You know what? I am disappointed. I watched like the pundits at the day after. You have Michael Irvin and Keyshawn Johnson, and they're like, "Oh, we're so sad that he talked like that to this young black man." You know what? No. Steve Smith. Steve Smith is who he is. Smitty, Agent 89. We know who he is. If you know a guy, I'm a fan of him. I'm a Buccaneers fan. I should not like a Panther, but this guy has been who he is. He's from Compton, okay? He's not to be played with. He is 6 foot. You don't play with him.
Earned every yard he got.
Yep, earned it, and he was tough for a small guy, and he had a good career. Borderline, he's like that. He's that fringe Hall of Famer guy. You know what I mean? Ring of Honor, let him have it. But he was absolutely right about Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy is one of the most decorated high school wide receivers coming out of high school, going to Alabama, and then going to Alabama of the trio of him and Devontae Smith and Waddle, and then the other guy who shall not be named because he's in jail. He was the best of the 4. This is who he is, and this is what he is in the NFL. I had him last year. He wasn't great for my fantasy team last year. This year, he's had nothing. The resembles look like a guy that's first-round talent.
He looks like he's going to be out of the league within 2 or 3 years.
I don't think he'll be out of the league because it's first-round talent. So he's going to get a chance somewhere else at a vet minimum. It'll be some team like Cleveland.
For 2 or 3 years.
The Texans, the Titans, they're going to pick him up. And be like, all right, Jerry, we'll give you a chance. He's from Florida, so chances are maybe the Dolphins or the Jaguars, or even Tampa might be like, yeah, okay, we'll give you a chance, because he's from Florida. But then beyond that,
but not not too many guys break out on their second chance. Like, that does not happen too often in the NFL.
Not too often. You know what I mean? Second chance guys, you're talking like Brandon Lloyd. Brandon Lloyd, second chance. Huge. He was the Niners, and then he kind of got away from Niners and went to Denver, and he blew up in Denver all of a sudden.
He was on Washington for a little while.
Yeah. So, I mean, it can happen, but they have to want it. And Steve Smith was trying to just be very honest. He crossed Steve Smith, called him curse words, and Steve Smith wasn't going to play it. So I stand behind.
Yeah, I
Steve
loved
Smith.
it. Yeah, that made for good television. Steve Smith looked like a real one in that situation, and Jerry Jeudy looked like a punk, even with his response at the locker after the game. But yeah, back to Pit Sweat. Good bench performance here from Olave, Josh Palmer, and Ahmed of the Dolphins. All had double-digit points. Pit Sweat had a 10-point kicker. Kansas City head coach win and 24 points from the Kansas City defense. I got my ass kicked. I did have 32 points from Jared Goff in his fresh meat debut. I traded Justin Jefferson last week, who's injured, for Deebo Samuel. I was very excited about this, like to be able to get a player of Deebo's caliber for an injured Justin Jefferson. And Deebo got injured getting off the bus. He got 1 point. It was a disaster. I should probably trade him to Freeman with Kenneth Walker for whatever I can get.
There you go. For DJ Moore.
Yeah.
There you go. Your kicker, though, Maher, 15 points is really good.
Right, yeah, I'm going to keep him this week. I did pick up The Walking Dead, James Conner, off waivers last week. He's injured. He's currently on IR, but I got him stashed. So if I can come back to life, maybe he can help me out down the road. This brings us to your game. Buck What You Think versus Mile High Salute. You lost 94-89. What happened? This is your fourth loss in a row.
My box score is sad times. It's I don't know. It's hard for me to explain it. Tyreek Hill, 28 points. You're as advertised. Thank you, Tyreek. But everything else, Thomas from Washington gave me 1 point. I'm having a tough time with tight ends. And when I start a tight end, they give me no points when I start tight ends now. That's what's happening for the last 3 weeks. I've had terrible tight end output. I'm struggling with that. If I didn't start a head coach this week, I would have won my game. But I took the chance that Tampa could beat them, and it didn't work out for me. I did have Jay Williams on the bench with 11 points, Drake London with 21 points on my bench. Jay Williams, the Detroit wide receiver, only had 2 catches, but one of the catches was a 45-yard bomb, so that was 13 points there as well. Mike Evans, though, he gets the low cow of the week for me on my team. The low cow, because he is you can't drop him. You can't bench him either. Mm-hmm. He's averaging.
Those are the worst.
He's averaging 8 targets a game. But you're talking about he had 10 targets. He had 4 catches for 49 yards. He had low output from his team as well. He had a losing head coach. But Joe Mixon gave him 12. Brian Robinson Jr. gave him 17. Ayuk gave him 11. That 11 points happened in like the last minute with the Niners getting that field goal. Because before that, Ayuk only had 2 catches. And then he had 2 catches to get to the field goal. So I was like, oh my God. I'm watching the game happen. I'm like, I'm losing in fantasy because now Ayuk could come alive in the last 30 seconds of the game.
So you have Josh Dobbs at quarterback. I hate seeing you like this. It's like seeing your friend at 7-Eleven and him asking you for change. Like, what are you going to do about this quarterback situation?
I'm rolling Kenny Pickett next week.
That's like you asking me for change and me giving you Canadian coins.
Thanks. No, it's like me asking for change. You give me like, instead of you handing me money, you gave me a meal. You're like, here you go. I don't want to eat, man. I don't want.
I gave you an empty gift card.
I don't want an empty gift card. I don't want it. Josh Dobbs, ever since I got him, he hasn't averaged over 20. He hasn't done over 20. He was doing 33, 30. Up. And then, now the league's caught up, so I have to sell stock on Dobbs now. And to figure it out. And right now, the NFL, we're in a bad state in quarterbacks and running backs right now because they're dropping like flies. So this is Lord of the Flies right now when it comes to quarterbacks.
Tyreek Hill, 6 for 163 and a touchdown. He's on pace for 2,306 yards. That might be a record.
Yes, it would be. He said he wanted to do for 2,000. He said he wanted to, and that first game got him there. But it's a really hard pace to get there unless Waddle has to start catching the ball more to relieve a little bit of pressure because he's getting a lot of double teams now.
Yeah, Waddle's been disappointing for me. Ridley, 4 for 30, 7 points. Let me know when you want to trade him. I'm interested.
I'm kind of interested, too.
I'll give you the Freeman offer, which I have an update, by the way, on these trade talks.
All right, here we go.
One-sided trade talk, by the way. So he said I sent it. I said, you're not going to like my counter. He told me to send it. Then I didn't send it. He said, still waiting. I said, I really have no incentive to trade Walker for a broken centerpiece in Henry. He gave me the hands on the face emoji. And I said, Pollard and Henry starts the conversation. And then he said, Pollard's better than Walker. And I said, bye, Felicia.
I would say that Walker is better than Pollard. Because Walker could carry the ball 30 times if you need him in a game. Pollard is not. Pollard will not.
Yeah, Pollard disappears. Walker is the engine of the Seahawks.
Yeah, when Walker goes, they start winning games for real. So they understand that.
You got a touchdown from Jamison Williams. You had to like that. And are you going to play Drake London over Calvin Ridley next week?
I probably will, depending on the matchup. I just want to look at it a little bit closer, but more likely I will.
Mile High Salute. He's 3-3. He's won 2 in a row. He's like the Houdini. He won a game he shouldn't have won last week. He won this game he shouldn't have won against you. He got 24 points from Lamar Jackson in his Mile High Salute debut after trading for him last week. He got 12 from Mixon, 17 from Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson had a nice touchdown catch and run from Sam Howell against Atlanta. Now, last week's waiver claim darling from Arizona, Imare DeMarcado, he started in a flex spot for Mile High Salute. He's probably droppable already. 2 carries for 11 yards. Arizona really fooled everybody by feeding him the week before, getting everybody excited for that waiver claim, and then just keeping him in the garage. And then Jahan Dotson was held catchless on the bench. He's one of the biggest fantasy busts of the season. He was drafted 78th overall. He has 36 points in 6 games this season. He's already been on 2 teams in our league.
Yeah, I had
still
him.
Rostered
You had him. I had him. I had him in another league. It's bad.
It's really bad. He's still rostered in 63% of the leagues. That seems way too high because he is non-play. He's nothing.
I think Curtis Samuel's taking his spot now.
On to the next game, New Day versus Stealing the Winds. A close game here, 115 New Day. Stealing the Winds, 102. New Day moves to 2-3. Stealing the Winds. So neither team used a head coach in this one, which is interesting. That doesn't happen too often. Stealing the Winds dropped Cincinnati, so one of my favorite storylines of the season has come to a conclusion.
Yeah, the storyline there, it ended itself there. I guess he finally sold stock on him. And you know what's sad part about? They won a game. They won again.
Yeah.
They won again. He sold stock.
Yeah, he had a path to victory here. Say he kept the Cincinnati head coach and played him, and then if he had played Matt Stafford over Baker Mayfield, we got into Mayfield earlier, he would have won. This is tough stuff here. No Najee Harris, he was on the bye week. No Khalil Herbert, he was injured. No Devon Achane, he was injured. Now McCaffrey is possibly injured. Yeah, he's having one of the toughest goes of the season by everybody. He lost Aaron Rodgers 4 plays into week 1. Bad game for Baker. Maybe he thought the Rams would go up big versus the Cardinals, so he sat Stafford and figured maybe Tampa and Detroit would get into an old-fashioned NFC-style shootout, but that decision cost him the win here. Zay Flowers had a nice game again. I got my eye on him for next season already. I think Zay Flowers could be a breakout candidate either in the second half of this season or next season.
Well, yeah, definitely Zay Flowers. He should blossom to a little bit more. They just need another wide receiver next one because just everybody else is not good. They have a bunch of guys. It's not going to work. But Baker Mayfield, I want to touch back on that again. I ranted earlier. I'll rant again a little bit about it. You know, I feel bad for him because, trust, Baker Mayfield overthrew 3 touchdowns that game. St. Brown had an amazing game, but he was just getting garbage time catches because they had no running game because all the running backs were all hurt by then. So Goff was just throwing a 2-yard pass, and St. Brown was just making the most of every single catch, taking it for 7-8 yards here and there. So it's still the wins at that loss right there. It hurts. Because losing
0
McCaffrey,
from the kicker.
Yeah, 0 from the kicker. God, that one hurts for real. New Day Co-op though, Tua has got to be one of the best fantasy quarterbacks this year.
11th round pick.
Yeah, just money happening. He actually has the running back for Detroit started, so he knew something that we didn't know.
I got a note on him.
Montgomery was going down. He knew Montgomery was going down.
New Day has had running back depth issues since the draft, and he could get a really big boost here with Montgomery and Gibbs out by having Craig Reynolds on his roster already. He did pretty well last year when he got some limited opportunities. He also got a 0 from Chargers first-round rookie Quentin Johnson in the flex spot. That's a Tuesday morning rage drop for me.
Look, Quentin Johnson is absolutely struggling. My man, they were bringing him his stat line this year. I read an article about it. Like, of all the first round draft picks this year, this year Quentin Johnson only has 6 catches, 13 targets total. So his best game was 3 points.
Yeah, in a good offense too.
In an offense that doesn't have Mike Williams.
Yeah.
So they need somebody they need someone, man. You should be able to actually do something here, and it's not happening. He had Jets defense on the bench, with 17 points, and Dallas only gave him 10, which is interesting. Garrett Wilson, 8 catches for 90 yards, so there's life. There's life beyond Aaron Rodgers for Garrett Wilson here. Good receiver is going to find a way. So, yeah.
Yep. On to the next one. We got chicken salad sandwich. 139, sweetness 34, 99. Sweetness 34 is 1-5. They've lost 3 in a row. They're having a tough go of it. Chicken salad sandwich is 1-1 since Cooper Kupp's return. Kupp with 27 points, 148 and a touchdown in this. Keenan Allen 21 points on Monday Night Football last night. So that's a pretty good receiver duo. Ramondre Stevenson looking like the back he was drafted to be. 21 points on a pathetic Patriots squad. Then an interesting player on the chicken salad sandwich bench is Colts wide receiver Josh Downs. He was added in 21.8% of ESPN leagues last week. 28 total points in the previous 2 games with Minshew at quarterback. It sounds like Anthony Richardson is going to be done for the season.
The flame blew out pretty quickly for him this year. They're gonna shut him down for the year, so it's gonna be Minshew time for the rest of the year. Minshew seems to be doing all right, though. He can sling the ball. He's playing pretty good football. He's not turning the ball over, so I can't be mad. He's Heineke. He's
Heineke, fun, but you're not gonna win with him.
Heineke West, not bad. Or sweetness. Brock Purdy, he was allergic to the red zone. Kittles was non-existent, 1 catch for 1 yard.
Yeah, he's had some success. Yeah, he's had some success with that Purdy to Kittle connection. That only got 12 points combined from that this week.
Ezekiel Elliott on his bench for a nice little cool 13 points.
Yeah, that's about all you can expect from him at this point. That's his ceiling now.
Was it Bourne 10 catches for 89 yards, 18 points. That's a solid. That sounds like that's a maybe potential that the Patriots have found something. They have to wake up. I know they play Las Vegas, so we have to temper expectations a little bit. But
he got 21 points from Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard should probably be starting over Miles Sanders at this point, and he got 16 from Bijan. For Atlanta, Atlanta was dreadful against Washington. If anybody watched that game, it was embarrassing. On to the next game. We got Boy Scout Trombones versus the Punishers. The Punishers became the only team to win high points twice this season, so he's up almost broken even already, and it's only week 6. This score was 175 to 156. Punishers. That's always tough when you score 156 and still get blown out. Not much you can do when the other guy scores 175.
I mean, it sucks. Like, Boy Scout is definitely upset with Devontae Adams here. 4 points. 2 catches for 29. Come on.
Only 12 points in the last two weeks for Devontae Adams.
And once again, we always mention every week, Adam Thielen, 11 catches, 115, and a tutty. This man is father time. He says, hey, stand back. I got this a little bit longer.
Steal of the draft.
Because this guy he's like, what is his fantasy? He's ranked 3. He's ranked 3. Third best fantasy wide receiver. Ranked 3. He has Ryan Monster.
Drafted 138.
Ryan Monster, who is, again, friend of the show, who, stay healthy. He's a monster. Right now he's positioned ranked 2 at running back. So he has top 1 and top 2 and then 3 in respective positions. Ford is giving him great points right there. Travis Kelce, obviously number 1 ranked tight end because no one gets the ball like he does. They have such a connection that it's going to be guaranteed money. When it's all said and done, Travis Kelce, I don't think he'd be great. One of the greatest tight end of all time, but fantasy-wise, he'd be one of the greatest fantasy tight ends of all time because they're just amazing.
Yeah, easy.
Puka's come back down to earth.
Yeah, he still must start for me, though.
Puka had 4 catches last game. He has 7 targets, so that was his second lowest. That's his lowest target percentage. Well, targets he's had all year. He had 7 before, back in week 3, 7 again. So we'll see what it looks like now with.
I didn't
Cooper
see
Kupp.
it, but I heard Puka also dropped a touchdown, so that could look a little bit better.
It was a dive, and he was diving for it, and he caught it. He didn't maintain control, and it came out. Punishers, like you said before, quote Billy, going to book the parade tickets because they're
top to bottom
rolling people.
Look at his bench.
It's
15, 17, 19, 15, 14.
It's all. I've never really seen that before. Where the entire team scored double digits except the kicker, and that's 8 points.
Yeah,
the
close.
Entire team double digits. He had both the defenses scored at least 15. At least 15 points from the defense. Curtis Samuel has 14 points. Zach Moss 19 here. Josh Myers 17.
He's got some help on the way too.
Jeez.
He's got Jeff Wilson Jr. in the IR spot, so I mean he might eat into Mostert's volume.
Maybe.
He should be back any week now.
The Rams though. Kay Williams, though, you gotta be concerned, though, because I heard that the Rams are calling a bunch of people up because I think Williams might be banged up. So they might be
he's out this week.
Yeah, they're looking for all help from all hands on deck. I saw something come across Twitter on that. Even Christian Kirk gave him 13 points.
I have a note on Kyron Williams. So he's injured, sprained ankle, supposed to miss this week. He was absolutely being overused, but compared to the 49ers who were overusing Christian McCaffrey, at least Kyron Williams' overuse makes sense. They were missing Cooper Kupp. Cam Akers turned into a pumpkin again. So it made sense for them to pound Williams. It didn't make sense for the 49ers, who Xerox running backs, to overuse McCaffrey. ATN, 4 touchdowns in his last 2 games. He's the number 3 back overall, and Williams is the number 4 back overall. Not to mention Eckler returned this week. He played last night on Monday Night Football. So Punishers is really rolling.
Yeah, definitely rolling along. He's just stand clear. It's all gravy right now for him.
So to our last game on the docket, we got Dead Money versus Renegades of Funk. Renegades of Funk was 5-0 coming into this game, one of 2 5-0 teams. The other, Smash Hawk, was on a bye this week, so he's the only remaining undefeated team. Renegades falls to 5-1. They lost a tough game that they really had no business being this close in. to Dead Money, who went to 3-3. Dead Money 102, Renegades 98. Both teams played a losing head coach. Dead Money, Henry, Pollard, and Barkley lifted this Pinto off the ground. 66 of the 102 points by Dead Money by those three running backs. Devontae Smith is officially on a milk carton. He could lose targets with Julio in town. We'll see. We're both surprised by this Devontae Smith development. He's way too talented to be this far down. He didn't play Amari Cooper, which makes sense. They were playing P.J. Walker at quarterback, but Cooper keeps proving me wrong. He got 14 points on the bench with this third quarterback of the season. We already talked about Anthony Richard being out. He didn't have Daniel Jones. He missed the game, so he's playing Geno, which you could do worse with Geno as your emergency quarterback. Like, shit, would you trade Josh Dobbs for Geno straight up? I would.
I would. Let me tell you what. This was a trap game. It's like it's a trap game, dog. Like, this past Sunday, when we saw these bad losses where, like, the Browns beat San Fran, and then you see Philly lose too. This is exactly our version right here, where Dead Money somehow beats the undefeated Renegades of Funk because they had their F game. You know, they're straight up F. Just F across the board. Jalen Hurts, 3 picks. The fuck? If he didn't throw 3 picks, he would have won. You know,
good point.
You know, Montgomery, he was lighting it up, and the runs of Tampa, and Tampa learned how to stop the run magically. All year long, they haven't. And now they play against Montgomery. They stop him, bangs his ribs up. He's done. Gabe Davis had over 100 yards last week. This week, he came and cracked 30.
Yeah, he's Tyler Lockett, like a poor man's Tyler Lockett, too.
Again, San Francisco, starting San Fran head coach should be guaranteed points, especially against Cleveland with a backup QB. He's going against not the poor man's Tyrod Taylor in Cleveland. You know what I mean? That's how far we are. I forgot who's the starting quarterback for Cleveland this past week.
P.J. Walker, XFL legend.
Yes, the poor man's Tyrod Taylor, and you lose. And P.J. Walker was trying to give the game away. I was watching that game, and he was trying to give it away. Unbelievable. So it's tough because Russell Wilson didn't do much better. Kareem Hunt though, 19 points, man.
15 touches, 71 yards. Yeah, he might have something here in Kareem Hunt because Jerome Ford hasn't really run away with that job the way he should have, and Kareem Hunt, I've always liked watching him play.
But Ford and Kareem Hunt together, like, it's almost 30 points combined. Because Hunt, like, Ford had good, like, they're dedicated to running the ball in Cleveland. They have the road graders to do it up front. So that's what's up. Cam Akers is a ghost in Minnesota.
Yeah, 8 yards.
Yeah, that's not going to work. Yeah, he started Atlanta head coach against Washington. That was a risky pick. I don't take him to be Atlanta Falcons fan, so I'm not sure why he would have done it. Barkley, 21 points against Buffalo is really solid.
Renegades can drop Sky Moore, right? Absolutely.
Sky Moore. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
It sounds like he has a stripper on his team.
Sky Moore is just on his Sky Moore is just on his team for the clout, because it's just there's no way I have a Kansas City Chief on my team. That's literally it, because that roster spot could be anybody else. So Sky Moore, the last 2 games have had 6 targets, 4 catches for 33 yards. That's the last 2 games. Bad. So it's not been pretty.
Damian Pierce lost a bunch of work to Devin Singletary in the Texans' backfield. Is that something or nothing? I've always liked Devin Singletary.
That might be something, because Pierce was a big deal last year with the old regime. And with the new regime now, you always have to watch out with how coaches like people and whatnot. And that might be something to look out for.
And this new regime is a lot smarter, too, where they're not going to overuse Pierce. They'll divvy up the work more responsibly than, say, the 49ers divvied up Christian McCaffrey's work.
Yeah, so there's something there. You know what I mean? But Pollard, 23 points. All right. Derrick Henry, like I said, you're going to run him into the dirt. He's going to get these points one way or another. Even Geno had a dud of a game, 15 points. 323 yards. The stat line looks great for fantasy wise. Just the 2 interceptions look like shit.
So that's it for the box scores. So on to the Fantasy Hall of Fame inductee tonight. We got Quintorris Lopez-Jones.
Okay.
You know who that is?
It'll be what is that? Is that our boy? What's his name? Julio Jones.
Yep, that's Julio Jones. Quintorris Lopez-Jones Jr. So after today, he will be the first active player inducted into our Fantasy Hall of Fame. Atlanta traded up to 6 in the 2011 draft for the right to draft him out of Alabama. He has a career average of 87.9 receiving yards per game. That's the second highest in NFL history. He's tied for third all-time in 100-yard receiving games with 59. Longtime Atlanta Falcon, Tennessee Titan, Tampa Bay Buccaneer, and now Philadelphia Eagle. We call that ring chasing. 2-time first-team All-Pro in 2015 and 2016. 3-time second-team All-Pro from 2017 to 2019. 7-time Pro Bowler. 2-time NFL receiving yards leader. The NFL receptions co-leader in 2015. The NFL 2010s All-Decade Team. 903 career receptions, 13,629 career yards, and 63 receiving touchdowns. Yeah, if you came out of a draft with Julio Jones, you were very excited about it. He'd never let you down until, if you were drafted him. If he let you down, it was because you drafted him late in his career.
He let you down because he wouldn't get touchdowns. His touchdowns, he doesn't have 90 touchdowns. That's what's crazy about it. Like, he should be a guy that should be surefire of at least 90 touchdowns in his career. And he's nowhere near that.
Good point, because last week we brought up Kamara scoring his 73 career touchdown, and yeah, Jones is 10 behind that.
It's like he won a season like with just 5. So it's not it's weird because every single time he's been playing, there's always been somebody else gobbling up the touchdowns for him in Atlanta. So it's
had a good quarterback his whole career too with Matt Ryan.
Yeah, Matt Ryan feeding him the ball. It's can't go wrong with it. So shout out to you, man. We appreciate you, what you do, and all that. But
you got any plugs?
I got none. I got no plugs here, man. We're sliding into the end of October, man. Having good times here with this podcast, man. Please drop a like. Please listen to us on all platforms you can. Shout out to people in Germany and the UK for listening to the podcast. Our analytics showed that you guys are listening over there, and we appreciate you. Guten Tag.
Yeah, hats off. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll be back next week, and hopefully I'll have won my second game.
Same here.
That's pretty bad that the two guys telling people how to run their teams have a combined 2 wins.
All right, in fairness, though, in another league, I'm 3-2, and another league after that, I'm 4-2. So, like, this league that we're talking about is my worst league. It is always my worst league every year, and I blame the 13 teams. That's my escape. We have 13 teams. Yeah, I'm bad.
I'm actually 6-0 in Demas's Brothers League. I'm killing people over there, but I don't talk about it over here.
Because you can't. It won't make sense.
No. All right, yeah, thanks again, everybody.